Hey guys, Shauna here. Welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. If you are new here, we are a homeschooling family of 4 who focuses on a secular education for our 2 girls, 3rd grade and pre-K. Today, I want to talk with you because this is a thing that I see like a lot on Facebook groups and forums, especially where kids are concerned. You guys know I'm a Timberdoodle junkie. I just am. So today, I want to talk with you about not stressing about those extras that come in the kit. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you will by the end of this video, okay? Before we go any further, please scroll down, hit that big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you would like to shoot me a message, write on down in the comments, or head on over to Instagram, at Making Everyday Magic, and I will be happy to answer or help in any way that I can. You guys know, I love me some Timberdoodle kits, right? And there's been a lot of discussion, I see this all the time, about how many pieces there are. It is genuinely overwhelming, the amount of pieces. But guess what? I am here to remind you that curriculum, any curriculum, is simply your tool. Guys, if you've watched any of my Teach With Me videos, you know by now, I never do things the way they say to do things. But guess what? My kids are learning stuff. Do you know why that's possible? Because let me show you. You know what? Let me show you. Look at this. Teacher's manual. So many of them will say teacher's guide. And you know why? Because it's not a teacher's lead. Public school teachers do this, college professors do this. They get the base of what they need, they keep what they like, they get rid of the rest, they supplement with some more stuff. And that, my sweet, sweet friends, I think is where so many people go wrong in homeschooling. I think because we aren't teachers, because we don't have an educational background, it's so easy to think that you are supposed to do everything in those books. You are supposed to do everything that you paid for. You are supposed to do it just the way someone said to do it. And that's not true, guys. Curriculum is your tool to help you build the education for your children. It is not something to weigh you down. It is not an anchor, okay? It gives you a framework. It doesn't put the walls and the windows and the decorations in the house. Framework. It is a tool. It is a guide. So today, this entire video idea came to me because my kiddo picked up something and she hasn't touched and finished it in a day. So I am going to walk you through why and how you should not stress about the things that come in the Timberdoodle kits or genuinely any curriculum kit. The reason that things are included in these curriculum kits is because the people putting the kits together saw value in them. And there's different kinds of value. The Timberdoodle kits come with many games and extra things, right? Things to do with your hands, things to do while you're busy, extra things. But there are extra things, okay? Extra art, extra this, extra that. And it can be so overwhelming when you're opening your box of awesome and there are 15,000 things and you worry how am I going to do all this? Where am I going to fit all this in? It's okay. They saw value in them and knew that your kids would get a great learning experience some way, shape, or another out of this item, and they felt like it was worth including. Now, here is where the train goes off the rails. Wait, let me show you. I have props again, guys. I was a props. I know, it's so great. Okay, so here's my tried and true, really roughed up Timberdoodle curriculum handbook here because it's from last year and I use it kind of a lot because I reference it constantly and just flip through it a lot. Okay, so let's see. 7th grade. Look at all that stuff, guys. Look at all of it. And do you know how much of it is extra? Probably a ton. A ton of things are extra, okay? Let me show you. Pre-K, okay? So Maryland's pre-K kit came with, is there a picture? Oh, here we go. Item by item specs. Look at all this stuff, guys. Now, here is what is important, okay? Here, each individual thing has its own page. It is important to remember some of it is just extra. It's just fun. But it's a fun where they can learn. And it's valuable and they decided to put it in the kit. And that's important. If you've bought it, if you've paid for it, you're gonna wanna make sure your kids use it. Now, as homeschoolers, guys, it can be terrifying to think that you have to do all of that all the time. And so many people do, and they stress themselves out and they get burnt out by doing the things that kind of really don't matter. And then they pull their hair out and they wanna quit. Guys, don't do that. Quite simply, don't do that, okay? There's only a few big things you need to be sticking with, right? Like math, reading, science, history. Pretty much everything else can just be as it needs to be, okay? So I'm gonna show you how we avoid stressing about the extras and why it's important and how it all works out in the end, because it always works out in the end. Each curriculum kit comes with the handbook, which the handbooks are super awesome, and you can actually order them on their own and have access to the online scheduler without ordering their kits, in case you needed to know that. So it comes with a schedule right in this book, okay? And it tells you for every single thing in the kit, and it's a lot, it tells you how often to do it based on a 36-week school year, how often to do it to complete every single thing in the school year, which is great if we're talking about math lessons. And it's great if we are talking about language arts. It is not great if we are talking about pages of a read aloud, because no one reads a book aloud one page at a time. If it is like a novel, no one's reading that book one page at a time. No one is doing marble run one challenge at a time. That's not real life. It is how you can get through every single thing that you've bought, purchased, and paid for. You can get through every single thing in 36 weeks. You absolutely can. And if you take this, okay, let's see. Some of the things here, guys. Mad Matter, 1 time a week. You don't need to plan in playing with what is essentially modeling dough. You just don't. You don't need to plan that in. You don't need to check mark that off to ensure that you've done it. Some of these things, while I absolutely appreciate that there is an algorithm that tells me how to get my money's worth and check mark every single thing off, because so many people need that check mark, and I like them, I do. That's not real life, okay? It's simply not. Now, if you guys are familiar with Temp Doodle Kits, you can do your weekly schedule there. Well, you can go on to their scheduler online, and I do have a video about this, I'll post right up here. You can go onto their onto their scheduler, and you can plug in exactly what you got for your kid, okay? So you can go on and you can plug in exactly what you got and omit the stuff you didn't get. And you can, if you can see that, you can set it to how many weeks do you want to do. You can set which days you want to do. You can plug in all of the information that you want to have so that it will generate a schedule for you. The schedule, guys, is generated by like an algorithm. Okay? The algorithm doesn't know your life. The algorithm doesn't know your kids. Again, it's set up, and it's a really handy tool, and it's really awesome, and I super recommend using it to get your foundation for your planning. It's amazing. It is invaluable. But you're the parent, and you know your life. You know your homeschool. So, yes, let's see. Okay, let's see. Bambino Luck. There are 77 challenges, and we need to do them 2 to 3 times per week. Let me tell you, when she pulls them out, she'll do 3, 4, or 5, okay? So what you need to remember is that this is generated by an algorithm. It's not made for your actual kid. It's great, it's a schedule, it helps keep you on track, it's wonderful. But life is a little bit different than that. And so I wanna encourage you with this whole thing to not forget that curriculum is your tool, just like the algorithm is your tool. The plan is your tool, but real life is a little bit different, and that's okay. There's no reason to stress about being sure it all gets done. There's only a few things that actually matter anyway. Again, the main subjects, yeah, those are kind of important. But Bambino Luck, it's great. It's an awesome tool. It's super fun. I don't have to ensure that there are 2 to 3 challenges met per week, because it just kind of is going to work out that way. So if she pulls it out 1 day a week and she does 6 things, guess what? It's fine. And again, guys, Let's see, what else? What else should have gone a little differently? Three Little Piggies smart game. It's a little game where like pigs hide and there's like Big Bad Wolf and it's like a thinking game. My older kiddo got Squirrels Go Nuts last year. We're still playing with that. Some of these things you may think, why are they included? Because they're fantastic things. But you don't need to stress about fitting them into the school day. That doesn't need to be a school day thing. That's not how I run our homeschool, certainly not. If it has a little F next to it, that's something we're doing as a family. That means that we are playing junior geosticks. I don't stress about doing one card, one idea every week, because when the girls pull them out, they'll do like 10 and it's super fun and they play with it for a little while and then it goes away. Both girls do it. Pre-K kit, both girls do it. My little one will play Squirrels Go Nuts, which is her older sister's second grade game. I keep them handy and we pull them out because they're fun. I don't have to stress about making sure Three Little Piggies gets done because when she pulls it out, she enjoys it for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. The same goes for Amelia's typing. The same goes for art projects. I'm not stressing about getting them in because they get covered, guys. They're fun, they're wonderful, they're learning, they're engaging. But you do not have to put so much stress on yourself to get all of this done in a school day that you're really sacrificing your well-being. Have it in an available space, which is what we do. We have it in the cabinet right next to their school stuff. They pull it out when they're ready. They'll pull it out when they want to play with dad. We'll sit down and play the multiplication game all together as a family. Please stop thinking of your curriculum as an anchor instead of as a tool. It's so important. If you can flip that perspective, it will serve you so much better, guys. I really do promise. First sticker book jobs, okay? Let me just tell you. Pre-K, very first time we're sitting down at the school table. Do one scene every other week. Can I please tell you, she wanted to do this so frequently. It's how we got through the first 2 weeks of school, and the book has been completed since then. So you don't have to worry. If there's stuff that you don't finish by the end of the year, leave it out. They'll play with it in summer. If there's stuff that, like I said, we're a couple years behind on some of our games out because they love them, they enjoy them, and they want to play them all the time. Now, what prompted me to share this with you, because there are so many things, there are a lot of things that came in our kit that we still haven't touched. But that's okay, and I'm not stressing about that. These are wonderful things, and I'm glad that we have them. So let's talk about what that is. Okay, here's Anomia Kids, 30 games, 1 game per week. When she pulls that out because she genuinely wants to play it, we go through like 10 games, and it's super fun, and everyone enjoys it. This book, this is what prompted me to film this entire video. My 3rd grade girl is obsessed with science and loves it and loves space and is obsessed. She's not touched this book. We are in February. This came into our house in May of last year, June of last year. She has not touched this book. And another little fun tip here, things like this, things that are fun, these Wimble books, some of the puzzle game books, writing books, reading books, things like that. We have a bin that we keep in our car between their seats. And I have it filled with things like this so that they can pull them out and do them when they're bored, when we're stuck in traffic, when we're going somewhere. They pull out, keep it in the car. Pencils, colored pencils, all of that stuff is ready. I have these little like closing clipboards that they can keep their own personal stuff in, stickers. These things stay in the car. We went to dance the other day and we were a little early, so she sat there. She pulled this out. She has not touched it, okay? Let's see what the algorithm says. The algorithm says that there are Doodle Adventures, the search for the slimy space slugs, 105 pages, and you need to do 1 to 4 pages per week. She pulled it out. She had never touched it before. She finished this book. She finished it, did every single thing in here in 24 hours. She hadn't touched it. She hadn't looked at it. Didn't even really know what it was. 24 hours. And this is exactly why I wanted to share with you guys. I see it on the Facebook groups. I see it everywhere about getting it done, getting it done, getting it done. Do not stress about the extra things, guys. 24 hours. And she loves it and she's obsessed with it and she wants to get more. So 24 hours. Hadn't touched it for months, never seen it, never flipped it open, never cracked it open. Once she did, 24 hours, finished the entire thing, ran around with a pen all day and will not stop rereading it to us, which I super appreciate. Okay, The Adventures of Robin Hood is a graphic novel. It's a read aloud, and we had one in our 2nd grade kit. And again, the algorithm recommends in order to finish it, it takes because it's not individual to your child or your style or your needs. So what it does, what the algorithm does, and it's on everything, any scheduler ever is always gonna be this way. It's gonna say, here is this item. This item has 30 lessons. This item has 546 pages. It takes that and it divides it by the number of weeks you're gonna do. And then it tells you per week. That is it. That is all it does. It doesn't take anything else into account. So please, do not freak out about this schedule. Do not freak out about this schedule. Do not freak out about whatever schedule you have anywhere else. There's no reason to, because The Adventures of Robin Hood graphic novel has 104 pages. Do you read a graphic novel at 4 pages per week? No, you're not gonna stretch out The Adventures of Robin Hood to be a year-long thing. We had one last year that was about a boy who gets lost on a mountain. And do you know what we did? We read it over the course of like 3 nights for a bedtime story. It was fantastic. Is that what the schedule recommended? No, it was supposed to be like 1 to 2 pages per week. But instead we knocked it out because we enjoyed it as a family and we utilized the tools of our curriculum in other ways, because that is what best suits our family and our homeschool. So yes, the kids come with so many pieces. Yes, there's so many things. Yes, you want to get them done, but be realistic, okay? Like if you need to push something to next week, skip art. Art can go next week. If they love art, do all the art now. If it's a great incentive, do that. Do not get married and stuck to your schedule. It will all get done. If you have a game, especially the games, if there's like a puzzle or a challenge, guess what? You can do that as your kids want to do that. Keep it handy, keep it available, suggest it if they're bored. Things like that will help them gravitate toward picking up a thing they didn't know they wanted to do and getting stuck to it for so much longer than you would have expected. Especially, we had a globe puzzle. The globe puzzle was included. Is that even in here? I have to see. Geography, puzzle globe. It is one puzzle that you put together in the shape of a globe. One puzzle. And it says complete once a month. 1 puzzle per month. We are not taking that thing away, a thing apart. She put it together and she loves it, and now it's on display in her room. So some of this just, again, it's a tool. Take what you can, use what you can, and just leave the rest, guys. Don't stress about it. There is no need. The fun stuff will always get done, I promise. Guys, I hope that you found any of this helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit that big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. For those of you that have stayed to the end, I just want to complain a bit. You guys know, I am all about the mask. However, I am so annoyed that I have to choose my jewelry based on if I'm wearing a mask or not, because hoops don't go with mask ear straps. It's a pain. It's a serious pain. And the other day, I was wearing bold lipstick because I was filming, and then I went to leave the house and I was like, oh, it's rubbed off. I totally need to retouch that before I go out. So I retouched it and then put on a mask that I didn't take off. I felt really dumb. Like, really dumb. So I like to wear me some hoop earrings or some big dangly earrings. And guess what? It's really hard in a mask, and I'm not necessarily doing this at home for myself. That's it. I'm just annoyed about it. Anyway.